Are we actually doing a match preview? Yeah, we are, yeah. We are doing a match preview. Wow. That came around quick, didn't it? Manchester United are playing Leeds. It is our first pre-season game. Lots of positives, loads of players that I'm expecting to make a positive showing and certainly hoping that they'll make a positive showing in their first game. It's a first potential look at Mason Mount. Could offer some evidence as to where Ten Hag wants to utilise him. If he lines up at the left back, I'm going to put my hand up and say I didn't see that coming. You're looking at Leeds' first outing. They got a new manager, Daniel Farke, has been appointed. Question marks on how they're going to set up. Do we look to what he's done previously? Could that cause United some issues when it comes to adaptability? Farke's a two-time championship winner, brought in by Leeds to get them out of that league as soon as possible, probably playing the football that is suited to do that. Farke's record against United, it's not great, right? Admittedly. United have got 9 out of 9 against his Norwich side. It should be Lisandro Martinez's first game back following injury. If he starts, if he comes off the bench, it'd be an important milestone, I believe, in his journey back to consistency and playing for United. So, how do we think Farke and Leeds are going to line up? So, offensively, Farke generally lines up in a 4-2-3-1. He's done it throughout his entire career. And possibly looking at transitioning Leeds into being possession-based, more patiently eyeing chances with less risk than Leeds will have been accustomed to in recent years. Certainly a different from the high-tempo kind of Leeds that we saw under Bielsa and then some of the absolute shit shows that we've seen in recent years with them. I believe they'll aim to move the ball fairly intelligently. They'll have patterns in the offense. I think they look like they practice them constantly. Or Farke's teams generally look like they're going through plays rather than playing off the cuff, if that makes sense. He is known to value wingers in more advanced sort of playmaking roles. And goal scoring's never really been a problem for Leeds. The side scoring in 13 consecutive Premier League games towards the end of last season. Defensively, in the modern era, Leeds have been consistently praised for their high-intensity defensive play. Every player on the pitch under both Marsh and Bielsa ran a lot. The change in structure under Allardyce it was so obvious it was going to come like that. But they might look for a bit of a middle ground. Not going full Allardyce, not going full Bielsa. I would say Farke probably is aware at least of all the other different styles and maybe will pattern his team up a little bit more in the centre of both of those. Less risks, less overloads, a bit more solidity with a double pivot, but they'll aim to control the ball and they'll aim to get it into advanced positions. So it might be the nice sort of middle ground under Farke. He does trust younger players and I think he'll use age and the youth to be quite effective with energy and in the counter press, I would expect. But I think they're still going to be leaky at the back. They play with a bit of risk, and that risk generally does leave them overloaded on a defensive transition. So I do think they'll still be quite leaky. I don't think you're going to see 1-0 leads very often next season. For Leeds, I expect them to line up like this. And the star man is a bloody good player, to be honest with you, and that is Patrick Bamford. Tricky striker, very, very intelligent, has a lot to prove under a new coach, certainly on the back of a poor season as well. He is a solid finisher, big left foot, lethal in the air. But it's not going to matter. Are you, dear listener, a passionate football fan looking for a one-stop destination for all your football needs? Then look no further than OneFootball. With the OneFootball app, you will have access to the latest news, live scores, and stats from all of your favourite teams and leagues across the world. If you're a Premier League fanatic, a La Liga enthusiast, or a Serie A supporter, then OneFootball has got you covered. Also offers personalised content tailored to your preferences. Do you want to follow a specific team?
you can do that. Receive notifications on upcoming fixtures, live match updates, check the team news out there. You can even check out highlights from the last game on there. OneFootball's got you covered with video highlights, post-match analysis, but it's not all. OneFootball also features an interactive match center where you can track the progress of the live matches, see the lineups, predicted outcomes of games. You can even join in the conversation with other OneFootball fans by commenting and sharing your thoughts on the matches and news stories. It's available for free on the App Store and on the Google Play Store. Download it now and join millions of other football fans who rely on OneFootball for their daily football fix.
Because Manchester United's match winner is going to be Mason Bloody Mount. Trust me. Now, I think Mount's going to want to impress. I think he's capable of doing so as well. And he's a really interesting puzzle piece inserted into what I think will be quite a functional United side. The new Leeds system might see Mount slotting into pockets of space as the players are getting used to where they're actually supposed to be, and a little bit of guile and movement off the ball might find himself not picked up. Potential to unlock both Anthony and Diallo with through balls in transition. Definitely could pop up with a goal or an assist. Good from set plays, as we know. Creative, offers plenty offensively, but defensively contributes. Predicted United 11. I think it'll be Heaton in net, Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Martinez, and I think a fresh face at left back in Alvaro Fernandez. And that one is one I'm excited to see. In midfield, I think it'd be Mainoo and Mount and Fred. Now, I don't think they will line up in how we traditionally expect them to line up. You might see Mainoo, the more advanced, which I know makes no sense. He's more of a box-to-box midfielder, but we haven't really got a number 6. So I think we might try and give him the more free role, unless he just completely shocks us and plays him as one of the pivots and allows Mount to be the 10. Up front, I think it'll be Anthony. I think it'll be Diallo. And I think Tony Marshall will lead the line for us. So how do you beat Leeds? Well, depends how Leeds set up, and obviously we're having a bit of a stab in the dark here. New manager, pre-season, could be all over the gaff. The transition from defence to attack could be United's key hope, because the transition of Leeds it's just not been good enough, hence why they've been so poor, and hence why Allardyce decided to sort of lock them down a little bit and not be as adventurous. Therefore, you don't need to be as good on the transition because you're not transitioning as many players or as high. I think if you utilise Anthony, Diallo, Martial, and you look to try and create off-the-ball movement, your players are getting the ball and going, and you have slick patterns of play, I think you could break through the Leeds defence, and each member of that back line could be vulnerable to getting dragged out of position with some quality Manchester United forwards on display. There will be gaps on the pitch. If Leeds look to continue to overload areas of the pitch, that means that they've underloaded other places in the pitch. You can't press like Leeds do and have every man covered. A little bit of quality, someone being able to break lines or go over the top, you find yourself in trouble. That's the pressing game that they had under Bielsa is high risk, high reward, right? When you commit so many men forward, there's a gamble being played, and the gamble is that you're going to get that ball. But if you don't, you're in trouble. United have to be efficient and composed because the counter press could be lethal. But you've got some ball players in there: Martinez, Varane, Martial. He's very good with the ball. Mason Mount, I would expect to be very good. United could pop it around and drag players out of position and find, just through composure and quality, that you've overloaded someone, and now it's let's go and get an attack on them. And then finally, this is about fitness, right? It's about fitness. Most preseason games are about fitness. If you see someone looking a little bit sluggish in one of these games, they might have already trained that morning. They might have pre-exhausted themselves going into that game to see how they react. This might be, you don't know what the focus is. The focus might be, for United tomorrow, it might be like offensive transition, it might be defensive transition, it might be set plays, it might be trying to overload down the right-hand side, it might be the link play that they're trying to work down there, they might be, they might be trying to play out the back, they might be stopping teams playing out the back. You don't know what the focus could be, and you don't know if it's Actually, they all ran 10K this morning, and they're seeing what their VO2 max is by trying to force them to put a 90-minute shift in against a championship-level opposition. So you don't know what the focus is. So I think you get wildly varied results in pre-season, but it's one of those, isn't it? Defensive solidity. United have got potentially Varane and Martinez fit. That should be enough. And I think with Tom Heaton, you've got a safe pair of hands in there to start pre-season with anyways. But that's how I think United are going to line up. First pre-season game. It's here. It's real. And in a week's time, I'll be flying out over there to the US tour. Cannot wait. Let me know your thoughts, expectations, and predictions for this game. And I'll see you in the next one.
Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.